Topic number 4 is our guest, Matt Mar's topic.
Hello.
We have some kind of guest music we'll play over this bit. Matt Mar, guest of the week.
That's it. That's it. I'm adding a chorus and the angel singing. We're going to stick a halo in there.
Right, okay, cool. So my topic, being as we're coming out of the holidays now, we've just got past Christmas and we're going to have birthdays and stuff coming up. I wanted to know, what are your best and worst gift games that you've received over the years for Christmas or birthdays? Is there anything that stands out as really good or really rubbish and you wish that you'd never bought that, or you've asked for the receipt? I think mine, I'll kick off with mine, the one that I can always... I've got two which I can remember getting and I loved. The one was Tomb Raider 3 on the PlayStation. I remember getting that for Christmas and being like, wow, this is incredible. And that first level, you got a T-Rex coming at you and it's just scary as shit.
That's pretty intense for the level 1.
Exactly, yeah. It's just like, whoa, what's coming after level 1?
It's Egyptian aliens as far as I can remember from level 1.
But my all-time favourite gift video game which I received was the Die Hard trilogy. I remember getting that
such a good game
for Christmas with the light gun.
I tried to talk about this on the Christmas episode because I was like, "Have you played the Die Hard game?" I was like, "No, I haven't played it."
It's disgusting.
I didn't even know there was a game.
Yeah, I knew there was a game.
What made me think about it was, and this is probably one of the reasons it's so nostalgic for me, is we watch Die Hard every Christmas because I know
Standard.
about the Die Hard, the Christmas movies.
Yeah, because it's a Christmas movie.
It is a Christmas movie. It's set at Christmas.
Tree's still up, guys.
We were watching it Christmas Eve, and there's the bit at the beginning when Argyle pulls in with John McClane at the back of the limo, and they pull around that little circular bit, the Nakatomi bit, and that bit happens on the game when you first fight. Because if you haven't played the trilogy, basically you load the game up and you get an option. There's like a little disc, and you've got the Nakatomi building, you've got the taxi cab, and you've got an aeroplane. And basically you flick through and you choose which film you want to play.
That's so
and
cool.
The first one, if you choose the Nakatomi building, it takes you in and the limo's pulling around in this little... And John McClane gets out of the car and walks into the building.
That was a third person one, wasn't it?
That was the third person one,
yeah.
And it was just like such an immense game. And it's just like I had to show my other half the opening sequence of it, and I forgot the music. It's like it's like that for non-stop for all these different floors that you go. You basically just got to work your way. There's a boss on each floor.
Yeah.
And you basically got to kill X amount of terrorists and save as many hostages as you can. And then like a boss comes down in the lift with loads of his little cronies, and you got to kill as many of them as you can. It was an incredible game, but the highlight of the game for me was Die Hard 2.
Second one.
It was the first.
The worst one of the two is.
But it was I don't even want to go back and talk about it. I've moved on. But that for me was like, it was the first person one, but it was like it was the arcade. So it wasn't like
on rails, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was on rails. You didn't.
Oh, I quite like the Rails games.
And when you had the light gun, it just made the experience so much better.
I think I've played that one actually.
It was so
I don't know where.
There was a demo around.
There was all these little Easter eggs, and there was little secrets. So it's like at the very beginning, there's like a helicopter taking off, and if you can blow up the helicopter before it takes off, and you move into the airport, you get like a special gun with a limit ammo. I think it's like a shotgun or something.
We're trying to get that over.
Podcast episode crossover.
Yeah, that for me was my Christmas, my gift game, which I just hasn't been topped since. I haven't had a game which has been that.
Mine is it was a gift for no reason, which kind of sounds a bit strange, but I remember it was on the Mega Drive, and I remember there being like a brown envelope package sort of thing. I remember being about to go out to school and seeing it, and there was an extra TV downstairs that used to have the Mega Drive on because I think I used to play with my dad sometimes. And I was like, what's this one? She was like, oh, hang on a second. And I opened it up, and it was Captain America and the Avengers for the Mega Drive, which, if you haven't seen it, it's Streets of Rage. Captain America, Iron Man, Hawkeye.
Can we play it?
Yes, we can play it.
Now, let's go.
It's an incredible game, and it wasn't a birthday, it wasn't Christmas, it wasn't any other occasion that you could
just there.
Mum was just like, oh yeah, saw it, thought you might want it. That doesn't happen. Like, everyone knows that it's Christmas and birthdays when you're that age. And this is Mega Drive, so I'd have been 6 or 7 or 8, something like that.
Yeah.
Like 93 or 95. And God, that game, like everyone talks about Streets of Rage being that quintessential side-scrolling beat-em-up kind of thing.
Yeah. It's amazing.
It's Captain America for me every single time. I love that game.
Don't say things
Love
like
that game.
Just in case. Just in case it doesn't turn out to be what I hope it is.
You can pick up stones and throw it.
Yeah. Every time we played Streets of Rage, it was like, oh, someone's got a baseball bat. Yeah. Then we always played it 2 players. Like, who's first to go and pick it up?
That's all I can remember at Streets of Rage 2. I used to play it with my mate Matt. We go around his house, we put his Mega Drive on, we'd play this game. And we'd always argue about who picked up the apple or who picked up the
chicken.
My life's lower!
That was how we did it in Castle Crashes as well, wasn't it?
Yeah. That looked after itself, apart from Matt stealing them when he had full health.
Yeah.
I'm hungry.
I'm notorious for that. If anyone's ever played like Fantasy Star, like I used to play with like my friends, and we'd all be going around. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm attacking the box monsters, and they're like in this room holding off the monsters, and I'm walking off like shooting the boxes, and I'm like, way rare item, like full time. Who picked up? And I was like,
just quicker than you.
Yeah, it has 12 lives, and I have 1. What's going on here?
In the later ones, you could have like a party leader who decided where things went. But in Fantasy Star Online, that was never it was finders keepers.
My gifts. I don't remember what I had. I didn't actually get a game for Christmas this year. Nobody in my family did, which was really weird. It was the first Christmas we've ever had where someone didn't get a game. But mine would be a random gift, and it was from a friend at university, and it was Magica on PC.
Okay.
And it's because he just did it out of the blue. It was in Steam, it was in a sale, it was a 4-pack, and he went, I'll get Magica. He sent them to me and our friends. He said to us, we installed it, and that game was absolutely hilarious. Has anybody here played it?
No.
I've got mine 2 on Steam. It's free at the moment.
I think number 2 is on PlayStation.
The sense,
so I've got it in the library.
The sense of humour is absolutely fantastic, and how the humour in the game is brilliant. It's 4-player. You all play wizards, and how magic works is
it's Diablo.
Sorry, you're talking about Magica.
Yeah.
For some reason, my head thought you said Magic: The Gathering.
Oh.
It's the axe.
And I was like, what? How is it? Magic is a fucking fantastic game.
So
everyone needs to play it.
And the spells, the letters on your keyboard are attributed to elements, and you learn combinations. So every time you want to cast a spell, you can't just click. You have to type in the combination for that spell. Then click. And you wouldn't knock a spell. It's like a meteor storm, and it just calls down comets from the heavens, and friendly fire as well. And non-stop. Everyone is dying because one manic meteor storm, we're in a village meteor storm. I'm like, and stop it. And you end up with one of those. I imagine it's some Louis gang beasts. You forget about the enemies, they're just inconsequential, and you focus more about backstabbing each other. Someone goes to pick something up, and all of a sudden the fireball hits them and they explode, and then you go over and pick it up, and it's just absolutely brilliant. Especially, I wouldn't play it single player. But you want to play it with at least 4 of you.
Magica is a fantastic game. I've never played through it with people, so I think I need to do that. Yeah. I do own the original one, so if anyone wants to play, that'd be cool. I'll stream it as well. Also, random fact that Valve actually based a character in Dota off Magica, the game. He's actually my favourite character as well.
When you say the humour of the game,
is that recently?
Screenshots and stuff.
You should see my games with him.
No,
it doesn't come across at all.
You
should watch the stream actually.
And the characters and what they say, but it is a spoof. Am
I thinking of the right? Because I watched the trailer for, I think it was Magica 2 on the PlayStation, and it was like Game of Thrones-esque. Like there's a guy singing.
I didn't watch the trailer, so the only thing I remember is like lasers being fired around and stuff.
I might be thinking of a different one. It might be.
If it was a funny trailer, it's very likely.
Yeah, I've not played Magica 2 though. I think I actually have it, but I've just not played it.
I'm sure.
Steam sales, yeah.
Anyone else want to jump in?
I never really get games that are a surprise to me for Christmas and birthday. Like it's always stuff that I want because it's like people ask me, what do you want? What game do you want for Christmas? I want to get you a PlayStation game. What do you want for Christmas? This one, sweet. So it's kind of hard for me, so I'm just gonna, for favourite, I'm just gonna backtrack to like when it was before my time because it was my dad's.
Do you want to just say Ratchet and Clank and then be done with it?
No. I'm pretty sure I thought that for myself. No. What was the handheld Sega Mega Drive?
Oh, Game Gear. Yeah.
My dad had one of them, and when my parents got divorced, sub story. No, not really. Just when they got divorced, my dad lived at my granddad's for a short while, and we used to go over every Wednesday and every weekend or whatever. And like me being big into my video games, I had nothing to do there because I didn't have handhelds. I had my PS1 or my PS2 or something at home on the single telly in the house, and that was it. So I was just bored shitless. I used to just draw and eat Viennetta, because Grandad always had Viennetta in the house.
Grandad always had Viennetta. I think it might have been
it's a great thing, and I hope to continue it when I am that age.
The legacy.
But my dad went up the loft in my granddad's house and found out his old Game Gear, and I had Sonic and James Pond.
Oh, James Pond.
James Pond is fantastic.
Yeah.
See, for whatever reason, my thumbs could not figure out Sonic, and I couldn't get very far on it. I think I got to like the first fight with Eggman.
You mean Dr. Robotnik?
Dr. Robotnik.
Eggman.
Dr. Robotnik.
Generational.
If she calls him Eggman, she's too young for it.
No, now you say Dr. Robotnik, I do actually remember his name, but for all intents and purposes, I know him as Eggman.
It was Eggman in Japan, wasn't it? And it's just that Robotnik was it was Russian and timely.
Right.
Evil.
Yeah. So, but look, for whatever reason, I couldn't get past that level. I might have done once and then ran out of time, and of course, there's no saves. But James Pond, I played that for hours.
Was he stretchy?
James Pond.
Did he like stretch up?
Yeah, you could stretch up and grab the ceiling, and
A fish can't do that.
is this?
They also can't wear waistcoats.
Oh, they can.
It was like I always thought he was like a goldfish, but I'm pretty sure he wasn't. It was probably some kind of like
Tropical.
small carp.
If anybody knows what kind of fish James Pond is, then
Get in touch.
tell us.
Comment.
If he's just a goldfish, I'll be bitterly disappointed.
I'm sure he wasn't just a goldfish.
Well, he's a secret agent. Like
Well, he's a secret agent. God.
secret agent fish.
I'm trying to think. I'm in the same boat as Matt, where people don't really buy me games. No, it's not even that. It's just,
Don't buy him back, you won't like it.
is it competitive enough?
The player character is an intelligent,
James
mutated,
Bond.
anthropomorphic mud skipper who is given
mud
James
skipper.
Bond.
Oh, he's like
You should have let them do that, man.
Yes.
Mud has mudkip.
He's suave enough to seduce numerous attractive mermaids, some of whom act as double agents.
Anyway,
A lot of thought.
anyway, there's a lot of thought into
No
that character,
zombies,
isn't there?
So
Yeah.
no zombies.
Someone's going to release that now. God
James
damn it.
Pond with zombies.
Yeah,
That's going to be the title. It's really original.
We've just given someone an idea.
we did. We broke it. But yeah, like I said, I'm with Matt. Like, I don't receive games as gifts that often until very, very recently. Thank you.
Christmas went by.
Yeah.
What did you get?
I got
You got the same thing as you did.
so we can actually play it. Basically, James bought me
Steam sale.
Steam sale. Woo. Final Fantasy VIII, because I've never played any of the original Final
You got
Fantasies.
7.
Seven. I got 7.
Lauren got 8.
Lauren got 8 because that's her
Because she's
favourite one.
played it.
Yeah, I wanted to get a 9 because she's never played it, but it's not on Steam.
Shocker.
6 has recently been put on Steam, has it? But everyone's
Very
kicking off
recently.
because it's the awful
It's the
graphics.
mobile version.
Yeah.
But
I will jump in and say that is pretty much up there, like with favourite gift received as a game goes. Like
Fantasy 7.
when you said, I sent it now, check your Steam, I downloaded the app on my phone because I didn't have my laptop about. Checked my gifts and it said Final Fantasy 7. I was fucking stoked. I was sat there on Christmas Eve in my lounge looking at my phone. Holy shit! Woo!
It's because I didn't buy you a game, I bought you a life-changing experience.
it's like a red letter day. James bought us all red letter days.
Yeah. Star Trek Day. It's Final Fantasy week.
But yeah, as I've never played them, I mean that's an experience. It's going to be for me. I haven't played it yet.
There's
but
no
I will.
Fallouts on Steam that you didn't already own that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I googled some stuff that I wanted to get you, and they're not released yet. So
But
I'll buy on that.
other than that, it's not actually a gift that was to me. because it was actually my cousin's at the time. It's another Mega Drive game, and I believe they had it one Christmas. I can't remember who they got it from.
Genesis. They call it the Genesis. It's not the Mega Drive.
Yeah, it's the Mega Drive. It was the Mega Drive 1 as well.
Yeah, because
There was a 2. I had the 2. I don't know what the difference was. Red buttons. Yeah.
Mine had white.
It didn't have the volume slider.
Nah.
Mega Drive 1 had the volume slider.
It did.
Yeah, it did. And it was 10, 15 and 30 for some reason.
Dublin.
10, no, 10, 15.
Dublin.
Dublin the 15. God, I had a Matt moment. Shit.
Yeah, Matt.
This man.
Anyway, back to the Mega Drive.
I want to see what game do you get?
I can't fucking think now. I'm so excited. But it was actually Toe Jam and Earl.
Oh, wow, what a game.
Right?
Cracking game.
And honestly,
It was a bad game, but it was good as well.
Yeah.
it's an amazing game. Like, the storyline is there's 2 aliens, there's a big fat one, and there's a skinny one with 3 legs, standard. And basically you've crash landed on Earth, and your ship's crashed, and the ship's split into pieces, and all these pieces are on different parts of the planet. And you have to go and collect all your ship pieces, build your ship, fly off. Never complete the game because it's so fucking hard.
So much more simple, but so much more difficult.
They were so hard. But
It was all so dexterous back then, wasn't it?
It's all
like,
the game rather than the experience.
yeah, it's skill rather than story.
I mean, look at the story. It's so simple. Aliens crash land, need to find their ship again so they can fly away. Pretty easy, right?
Sonic the Hedgehog, rescue the furry animals.
Yeah, exactly. Anyone likes furry animals, collect some rings. Wicked.
Yeah.
Get 100.
Rings.
Get 100, new life.
Get 100.
But it was amazing. I mean, you'd go around the world and you'd encounter, there'd be just random presents on the floor, because humans had presents, obviously.
They do.
And in these presents, there would be items that could help you, but they'd all be unidentified. So you'd have to go and find, I think it was a carrot man dressed as a carrot. Right? You'd have to go. This sounds like someone was on fucking crack. You'd have to go and see the man dressed as a carrot, so you get these presents identified, and you'd have to do this throughout all like 30 levels. You get them identified. There could be like high tops or something, which would make you run quick for a certain amount of time, and there'd be like root beer, which would make you hiccup and stuff like that. But you go up the levels, and if you came across something that could knock you off a level, there were like bad guys, which were humans. So there was the mad dentist, which would just run around quickly and just run into you, and that would damage your life.
Obviously, yeah.
That would just run into you.
Dentists are force.
Yeah. There was a mad lawnmower man, which would just have a fat guy with a lawnmower and a cigar. He'd run you over. So he'd hit you, you'd lose life, and you'd be flat.
Lawnmower man, you
Lawnmower
son
man,
of a
you
bitch.
fucker. And then there was mailboxes, like, you know, the American mailboxes, the blue ones.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you could go to them. I can't remember what they were for in the game,
Mail
but
delivery.
there was something to do with mail anyway.
There was drugs in them.
But in some of them,
The crack things.
on the higher levels, some of the mailboxes were in disguise, and they were actually mailbox monsters.
What?
So when you went near them, they had eyes. They'd open,
They're like mimics.
and then they'd get some gang beast arms, and then they'd chase you.
They were mimics.
They were terrifying. But yeah, there was so many things, and each level was like you'd have a map for each level,
Yep.
and you'd have to uncover it by going to different pieces of the map, etc. And each level was sort of leveled off, so it was almost like you're in space on your own little island.
Yep.
If you get knocked off the island,
yeah, it's coming back
you'd
to
fall down to the next level.
Ooh.
And if
Layers. Oh my god.
yeah, or if you're Mary Berry, layers. There's so many layers to this game.
Right, layers to this layer.
Layers to this layer. To go up a level, you'd have to find the magical elevator,
Standard.
which would take you up the next level. But as I say, you could fall off level 20, and wherever you fall off at that point in level 20, you go down to level 19. If there's no Earth in that point in level 19, you continue to fall. And so you could fall from like level 20 to level 15, and you'd be like, shit, now I've got to find all the elevators again, battle back all the monsters again to get back up to level 20.
Was this a
Sounds like a terrible
2D
gift.
platform?
It was kind of like
So much of that is.
it was kind of like a top down.
I can remember there being
It was,
like the
it
little
was,
green map. And you
yeah.
like walk around on the map.
That's
and
it, yeah.
go into
It's what they
things.
call isometric 3D.
That's it, isometric 3D.
It's like
So it's
filmed from the corner. Of
from the
room,
corner.
So it's all 2D, but because
Right.
it's filmed from the corner. you
Okay.
can
See, I was
sort of
imagining it as like Mario sort of thing, And then the way you're saying about them falling through to the next level, it's almost like they had a big piece of paper, drew some lines across it, and if you fell down a bit,
No, it's not that. It was more like James said, isometric. So you're looking at it from the corner of the room.
So you'd be like kind of like looking down there.
Yeah.
It'd be like levels.
Kind of like Diablo.
This
you'd play kind of like
that's isometric 3D. It's actually a 2D drawing because it's from that angle.
Yeah.
So,
but it was a great game, and we sunk so many hours in it because it was cooperative as well. Like one person could play the fat alien who had more life, moved slower though.
Yeah.
And then I always played the skinny alien with 3 legs because I like to move fast, and I was skinny. So I made everybody else play the fat guy, and it was just an amazing game. Like, because I got to play it with my cousins as well, it made it even more nostalgic for me.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, if you consider the fact that you don't start getting money until you're a little bit older, and most of my gaming education occurred before I got a job, everything I had before that point was a gift.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose so.
I mean, I go all the way back to Captain America because I remember it being like, here's a game.
Here's a game.
Actually, everything that we had on the consoles. And
My first console was the SNES, and I had it for my 8th. I was 8 years old, and I think I had it for Christmas.
Yeah.
I want to say Christmas anyway. Same with my PS1. I had that for Christmas.
Yeah.
That was with the bundle from Argos. I think it was with Rayman and Trooping Ball and Total Driving.
Yeah. My first one was my first console was a NES, and that was when I've mentioned it in a previous podcast when I was in hospital ill, and my cousin, same cousin actually, bought me a NES while I was in hospital. And the reason why I didn't mention that one is because I thought maybe I should talk about something different other than Mario because Mario is talked about a lot. So Toe Jam and Earl. If you haven't played Toe Jam and Earl, play it.
Yeah, go check it out.
It is a good game.
If you like Toe Jam and Earl, Earthworm Jim.
Earthworm Jim.
He's along the same sort of lines.
Art style, isn't it?
Yeah. Very cartoony.
Crazy looking characters that just come out.
I just want to mention Worms.
Yeah.
How funny is that game?
Yeah, Worms is good.
What made my work? Like I loved Worms. Like, I had that. That was one of the games on that PlayStation bundle I had, and what made my Worms experience all the better was.
Why am I so hungry?
I was around a guy's house once.
Matt's got worms.
We were experiencing Worms together. He was playing Worms on his PC, and he got like a voice recorder / changer.
Ah, nice.
And he recorded his voice and then toned it down, and he was making the Worms say what he was saying.
That's awesome.
And it blew my mind. I was just
that's
this
cool.
made me want to play Worms all over again just because I can make them say stuff.
Worms 2 was my favourite one.
Can you imagine if a Worms level was like inside a stomach and like some of the terrain you're on was
That's
like
what's happening, isn't it?
like on a biscuit?
That is what's happening.
In a stomach, and like if you fall, you're going to acid. And
I'm sure that one of the levels on the original Worms was green acid and
That's it, yeah.
weird looking
pinkish background,
Yeah.
no sky.
No sky.
I just love the sound effects are so iconic.
Yeah, they're amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the weapons as well.
I have to mention this because Rachel does listen to the podcast sometimes at work, but she did get my PlayStation 3 for me. I have to say that.
It was a really good game. I have to say that. Wow.
She'll understand.
He said it.
That's the main thing.
No, that's your argument. At least I said it.
I'm still waiting for my PlayStation 4.
Yeah. Lauren.
Lauren.
Or from what I've learned today, Holly.
Maybe. I think Holly will buy me a PlayStation 4.
She works a lot.
Does she?
She might have some money.
Where does she work?
So get my money.
She works. Forget we're on camera for a minute.
My last thing on games as gifts is that Rachel got me a VR headset for my phone this year.
Is it the white thing and you put your phone in there?
It isn't, but it's
like the Google Cardboard.
It's just
but
not. It's got 2 lenses, so if it splits the screen, then it goes all 3D and stuff.
Yeah. Has it got buttons on the side?
Not this one, but this one is designed just for games that you control with your head.
Does it actually work?
It does work. It is 3D. It moves perfectly with your head. I've got a game where you're just in a fighter jet fighting aliens, and if you look at them long enough, then the missile locks on fires, then you can fly the ship somewhere else or whatever.
That's pretty cool.
Chris got the one with the buttons on the side for himself, like a couple of days before Christmas.
Bought this for me.
Bought this for me, and it arrived, and like Les was gonna like make him do like Christmas decorating and stuff, and he was like, they got home and his package had arrived, and he'd be like, nope, you gotta go play with this. It's so funny. But you've got this game, and Gun Alt or something like that, and it's just like a standstill, and the ship's coming towards you and that, and you got to look at them, and then you got to go pushing the buttons on the side.
Oh, so you look like Cyclops when you do it.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
you look It's a sick game as well. Really, really good.
There's the one game that I really like on there is it's like the Gold Saucer at Final Fantasy. It's a roller coaster, but you have to shoot things as you go around. And that one actually, like Rachel tried it on, and she was like trying to find me, like she was grabbing my shoulder because she was like, I'm falling. It feels like I'm going around this corner. And there's one point at it when you get to like the top of this and you kind of look down and you see where the track's going, and you forget that you're wearing the thing, and it's like, oh god, here we fucking go. And it's the kind of the bits where it goes around the corner and just leans you on the side as you go around, and that's when you really feel it. Like if you take it off and you're not leaning in that direction, it's a strange. It's like, oh, actually, my brain needs to reconfigure where I'm standing.
Yeah.
The mobile headsets, they're like 20-30 quid. They're not comfortable. You can't really adjust the lenses that well for your eyes. It is very much just like a stepping stone towards what's coming.
I struggled with Chris's getting it to focus with my eyes, like just couldn't suss it out. But he's got something. He gets vertigo sometimes, like, but he got it real bad. He opened this app, and I think it's an experience more than anything. It's like a video.
Yeah.
He's watching this thing, and he was like, "Nope, I'm done." It's like a playthrough game kind of thing.
Yeah.
So you like go onto these chapters, and you're just seeing things, and he's like, "Nope, sweaty palms." He was saying, "He's like felt sick." He was like, "I can't do that one."
One of the strangest parts of the experience, there was one game that I actually paid for based on internet reviews and all the rest of it. And it's a game where you are fighting viruses, like you've gone inside you've been shrunk down into a pod and you've gone inside the human body. And the actual game itself is just you are going on a track and you lean left and right and you go around like different parts of the neurons and the nerves and you're collecting speed bonuses and all the rest of it. But the best part of the experience was looking down and looking into the pod that I'm sitting in. Like you've got the game screen, you've got your scores at the bottom, and then you can turn around and see the rest of the shit behind you. And
That's
stuff.
crazy.
That's cool. That was the best part. Yeah, that's a good gift actually. Like in terms of hardware and things that are a little bit out there. Because the amount of talk about VR is ridiculous. You must have been listening.
What's VR? No, don't tell me.
I'm all in. Any other gifts? Any?
I think the notable one for me would be, well, I mentioned previously, but getting the PlayStation with Christmas.
PlayStation!
That's and me and my brother got a game each with the PlayStation. My brother Shane actually reminded me yesterday. And I had Soul Blade.
So that's a great game.
The original Soul Blade on PS1, which
Got
obviously spurred from Soul Calibur onwards, but it was Soul Calibur 1 basically, and that was the first ever PlayStation 1 game that I was bought. And I think it was probably one of my favourite fighting games ever made. Yeah.
Good place to start.
I'm going to say a bad one that I got. I was big on Warcraft 3, which is it's kind of like StarCraft, isn't it? It's like
it's exactly the same as StarCraft.
Yeah. So, except orcs and stuff. But I was big into this game, and
don't slate Warcraft 3.
Yeah, that's what I was like. Tread carefully.
I love Warcraft.
That's okay. Continue.
For God's sake, guys. For God's sake.
Nearly did. Let's go. Come on.
Really big into it, and so my mom bought me, like, you know when you used to go into like now if you go in Home Bargains, there's like a rack of like cheap DVDs.
Yeah.
In this was a bunch of computer games. It might have been in like Curry's or something, and she like bought it on the sly for me. Was the first Warcraft, and she was like, "Oh, he likes Warcraft 3." Bought me this Warcraft. I think it was called like Orcs and Humans.
Orcs and Humans, yeah.
Yeah. Bought me this, and it's a good game. It's Warcraft. It's going to be good.
It was good for its time.
Yeah. But this was nearly when World of Warcraft was coming out, and she just like, we were in Curry's, I was bored shitless as you are as a kid, and she'd been through the till and she's like, "Look what I got, yeah!" And I'm like,
Will this even run on Windows 95?
But I wasn't necessarily gutted because I did play it and I did enjoy it for a short while, but it was like
bit of a letdown once you've played 3. Had you played? You must have played Warcraft 3.
Yeah. But like, I'd play Warcraft 3 and then I like brought this home. I was like, yeah, I'll give it a go. I'll put it in, and it's like Warcraft 3.
It's blocky.
I'm gonna go back and play Warcraft 3 now.
Yeah.
I can't think of any bad ones actually.
I can't think of any bad ones.
I was just trying to think there.
Again, mine wasn't a bad one as such. It's just
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
good try, Mum!
You know, you occasionally, like at Christmas when you're a bit younger, you get a game that you've never heard of, but then you play it and it's actually a good game. So
Yeah.
it's also like that's the game that you have at that time, so you'll go in to play it because you can't just go out and buy a new one.
I think
I missed that.
Yeah.
I think inside my bundle of the games I got with my PlayStation 1, I think I had the game which gave me my first bout of game rage, which was True Pinball.
True Pinball.
Yeah. I loathe that game. I can remember like hitting the controller for the first time on the floor and being like, oh.
Oh, this is a good release.
Move, you stupid tail! Yeah, I didn't like that game at all. That was, of the bundle of games that I got with that PS1, didn't like that game.
I think we had a game with the PS1 that was called Hardcore 4x4, and it was just like a big truck, like monster truck racing game, and that was bad. Like it was very, very bad. And I played the hell out of it. I didn't put that game down. Like, they were so slow. Like it's monster trucks, they don't go over 30.
Yeah. If you think that's slow, I had a game on GameCube called 18 Wheeler. And it was a racing game, but everyone drove 18 wheelers and different lorries, and you were just like, well, this is great. Like, ooh, we're going fast.
I'm gonna get actually I do have one that I really didn't like, and people might rage at me for this. But I got I think it was on PlayStation or it was on PC. I think it was on PC. And I had it given to me. Probably for the reason because it was pants. With Carmageddon.
Oh yeah, that was a...
No, I expected rage because a lot of people love Carmageddon.
It wasn't Twisted
Yeah.
Metal. That's my first
And-
thought was I actually quite enjoyed Carmageddon, but then Twisted Metal happened. And
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like the cover. The man looked nasty. So
Was it the Green Blood?
no, it was a
like the red fiery head.
Yeah, I didn't like him. He frightened me a little bit, and the game was just unplayable for me. Like controls were all over the place, and it was just horrible. It was
Such a
crap.
great name, though.
Great name, yeah.
Like, how could they get that wrong? Yeah.
Not my cup of tea.
Okay. No more bad games?
No.
In that case, then, you have been watching episode 5 of the Raptor Attack podcast. If you like what you've seen, you can find us at twitch.tv/Raptor Attack UK, Twitter at the Raptor Attack, YouTube where you are right this very second, and Matt, tell me about Facebook.
Don't go on Facebook.
Good answer, great answer.
Go to YouTube.
If you're watching the video on Facebook, just click the link, get yourself over to YouTube, like, subscribe, comment and share. See you later.